Hey vinyl community, Austin here, and I'm going to tell you all about my fairly recent trip to Amoeba. I went, I don't know, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, but I haven't had internet at my place, and I've tried to make this video, I'd say about 4 different times, and each time I recorded on my phone, my lips were not synced up to what I was saying, and it was really annoying. So I busted out my 7D, and I'm trying it again. 5th time's a charm. So I'm going to go through my 5, 6, 7 pickups or so, and yeah, tell you all about it. So Amoeba is massive, and I had a list that was about 3 or 4 pages long of just titles that I was looking for, artists to check out. And they had a lot of the stuff I was looking for, but you know, some of it I could probably find online, or you know, wherever it wasn't that limited, what have you. But they had several things that I had been after for a while. This is one. I was walking around, I looked through the box sets, and then they had some box sets on the floor in a little box, and this is one of them. Get Your Ya-Ya's Out, the Rolling Stones in concert, live from 1969. So it's got their live performance. It's got this massive booklet of photos of the band, and like there's Keith and Jimi Hendrix. So it's got a bunch of cool stuff. Ringtones, apparently. Thing for ringtones. It's got this poster, which I would show it without my hand, but this chick is topless and I don't want to get banned. And then it's got, I believe, 3 LPs and some CDs. So that is, I guess, like Madison Square Garden. It opens up like that. So it's got, give me a second. So it's got the original LP, and all of the things that I'm going to say are also on CDs. So the first LP is the original LP. It's got the 10 tracks that were on the one from 1970, I think is when it came out. And then there's a second LP of unreleased tracks that has 5 songs. You Gotta Move, Under My Thumb, I'm Free, Satisfaction, and Prodigal Son. And then the third LP is B.B. King and Ike and Tina Turner, who were the openers. So side 1 is 5 songs by B.B. King. Side 2 is 7 songs from Ike and Tina Turner. And it's the same way through the CDs. And then there's also a bonus DVD that has the 5 songs from the unreleased tracks on DVD. So that's pretty sweet. I've listened to it. It sounds great. I haven't watched the DVD yet, but I should probably do that pretty soon. But yeah, some Prime era, Mick Taylor era Stones. And then we'll get into just the regular old records. So this is something that I've been after for quite some time. This is a 3D cover of the Cramps' Off the Bone. I absolutely love the Cramps. This isn't that rare. It doesn't go for that much. The copies that still have the 3D glasses go for quite a bit, but this one does not. It's on Illegal Records. But great sounding album, great band. Poison Ivy is an exceptional guitarist. Lux Interior is a great vocalist, and more importantly, a great frontman. So I got that, And on my list was, completely unrelated to that, on my list was Joe Walsh. So I'm skimming through the Joe Walsh stuff, and it's the same albums you see everywhere. You know, The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get, So What. And then there was this, which is called The Party Boys, You Need Professional Help. So, I've never heard of these guys. None of them except Joe Walsh. And what I can figure out is that this is an Australian band that Joe Walsh sat in with in 1985 at Moby Dick Surf Club at Whale Beach, and they do The Shape I'm In, which is a band cover, Life in the Fast Lane from the Eagles, You Gotta Move, Stones cover, and Rocky Mountain Way, Joe Walsh cover, and several other songs that I don't know. But it actually sounds really good. 80s Joe Walsh can be, I would say hit or miss, but it's mostly miss. But this actually sounds really, really good. So it's CBS label there. I gotta replace that sleeve. But yeah, You Need Professional Help by the Party Boys. What a name. I jumped over to the hip-hop section and was going through, looking at various rappers, hip-hop, all that, and I was looking through the Tribe Called Quest stuff, and the only thing they had in there, I think, were 3 or 4 copies of this, Bizarre Tribe, Quest to the Far Side. Now, this is a bootleg, I believe, from, I don't know who it's from, but it's actually surprisingly pretty good. So it'll take beats from one song from a tribe and then take the vocals from Far Side and mash them up. So you get like Bonita Keeps On Passing Me By, Award Tour Guide, Trust Part 2, lyrics to Let It Go, Far Side of the Moon, and it's pretty rad. Not a gatefold, I thought it was, but the coolest part is the labels and how they're kind of tribe themed with that red and green. But I listened to this one whenever I got back from California. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, Bizarre Tribe, A Quest to the Far Side. I highly recommend you check this out. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube too. And yeah, if you like it, I mean, go to Amoeba. I'm sure there's probably still some copies of it. One thing I found in the Fleetwood Mac section is this bootleg. And I have no idea how to pronounce this. I can try, and I'm going to butcher it because I have a thick southern Houston accent. It's like nearly a portmanteau. I don't know. Sounds kind of French. But the first side is live from 1968 with a Rattlesnake Shake, a song called Tiger, and the Green Manalishi. There's a 16-minute version of Rattlesnake Shake. And then side 2 is live from 1970, so Peter Green is gone, but Christine McVie is in. And there's 2 songs, a 7-minute version of Station Man and a almost 19-minute version of Tell Me All the Things You Do. I listened to Rattlesnake Shake, about half of that, and the Green Manalishi, and I was surprised by the audio quality. It sounds like almost the exact same audio as the Playboy After Dark live performance of Rattlesnake Shake that you can find on YouTube, I believe. But this one was really cheap, actually, so yeah. Fleetwood Mac, however you say that. This is something that I have been after for the longest time. I want so bad. Probably one of the holiest of my holy grails in vinyl collecting is Mickey Avalon's debut album. I don't know why, but I absolutely love that album. Sixth grade me was all about Mickey Avalon. Well, every time I go to a record store, I look and no one ever has anything Mickey Avalon whatsoever. Several times I have almost bought the Jane Fonda single on Discogs for way more than it's worth, and I never do, and someone else always does. But I always thought, buying a single like that for like $80 or something just seems excessive. But I found this one for relatively cheap, definitely cheaper than that, and this is the Jane Fonda single by Mickey Avalon, but it's signed. I want to say this was like 25 or $30. Number 247 out of 500, signed by Mickey Avalon, which is kind of cool. Same signatures on the label. But it's Waiting to Die, the dirty, clean, and instrumental version on the A side, and then this B side is Jane Fonda, dirty, clean, and instrumental, which is my favorite song of his. So, yeah, really, really stoked to own that, and I think it's awesome. I'm glad to finally have that in my collection. And then we move on to the last thing. Now, at Amoeba, there's a massive wall that's covered in posters and art and stuff, but a lot of it's covered in records, some of which are ridiculously expensive. I saw the Almost Famous soundtrack, which is probably just above the Mickey Avalon's debut, and they wanted $300 or $400 for it. There was a first pressing of Buckingham Nicks up there for a couple $100, and I think it might have been sealed, and a bunch of other iconic albums. And among the iconic albums was this, the original master recording for Dark Side of the Moon. I forget when this MoFi pressing came out. It might have been 1979. I could be wrong on that. And the cover is pretty beat up. It's got a lot of scuffs and kind of ring wear sort. You can see it more back here. But much to my surprise, I asked the guy if I could, if he could take it off the wall and I could look at it, and he said, of course. And the vinyl is just in immaculate condition. And brought it home, played it. Probably the best sounding record in my collection now. It sounds absolutely flawless. I love it. Not my favorite Pink Floyd album. That would have to be Wish You Were Here, and then probably this and Animals tied for like second. But nevertheless, this is a absolutely amazing album, damn near flawless, and I'm so happy to find the original master recording, the MoFi version of it, actually for a fraction of what it goes for on Discogs, which I was very flattered about. I didn't want to pay that price, but yeah, I'm glad to finally add this one to the collection, and that's what I got. I had to whatever I bought, I had to bring home in a bag, and I got some other cheap albums, but those are the main ones. The other ones are just kind of little filler here and there, and I didn't want to make this video 20 minutes long. But yeah, those are the main things. And Amoeba is awesome. I highly recommend, if you go, make a list, make it alphabetical, kind of by genre, like rock, hip hop, jazz, blues, and alphabetize your artists. It'll make it so much easier, because it is very easy to get overwhelmed. But yeah, that's my Amoeba music haul. So thanks for watching, and good luck digging out there.